So essentially what's going on in Haiti is, and what I realized when doing my research on it is honestly, there's not much I really can say about it because what's going on now is like a continuation of many decades of civil unrest and of extreme violence in that country. So right now we're just getting a new push by the news, but really Haiti has never really been stabilized ever. So this is just more of the same. This is the broken record thing for Haiti right now. And I feel very bad for the citizens of that country because they are in a situation where they, not only is their country poor, not only are they poor, their country is extremely poor. Their country can't even protect them from anything. Like as much as, you know, we have our issues in America with the police and stuff like that, not with the police, but yeah, with the police. If a quote unquote gang decided they was about to wage war on the area that we live in, the police would come in very quickly and wipe that gang out if they needed to. They would wipe them off the map if they needed to. It's not to say that we want them just wiping all these people out, but if they could, if they wanted to. You understand what I'm saying? In Haiti, the gangs are more heavily armed than the police there, and they really don't have a military. If you want to call it a paramilitary, they really don't have a real military. The gangs are strong. What they call gangs are stronger than the police force and the military out there. So essentially, you know, there's a leader named that they call Barbecue, you know, and they say he got the name Barbecue because he just went around just setting massive amounts of houses on fire. And then they started calling him Barbecue. But he says he got the name because when he was a kid, his mom used to sell chicken. And I guess that's how he got the name. I'm not going to lie. Barbecue sounds more like a name that you got as a kid. I'm not going to lie. But I don't know, you know, what the origin is, but it for sure sounds like, you know, you was in the hood as a kid and you always was doing something that was related to that, and they started calling you Barbecue. That does not sound like the name that you picked up while you was a leader of a gang. No, that don't sound like it. If he would have got that name as an adult for burning house, they would have been like, he's the enforcer. He's the king arsonist. He's the, you know what I mean? It would have been something like menacing, not Barbecue. So essentially, the most recent push push of violence has happened starting this year. They say at the end of February, because the current prime minister, the current prime minister, let me make sure I get his name right. Ariel, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Ariel Henry, he was supposed to step down, like February 25th or something like that, or sometime in February, he was supposed to step down. He was supposed to step down so that they could put like a democratic council in place so that they can get like a real presidential election going, right? Because their prime minister before this guy got killed in 2021. So Haiti is, like I said, has been bad. But that former president got killed, and this president was supposed to step down this February. Yeah. I know about be legit in E40. That was a hard line because be legit, they can't be legit as in be valid as people. But anyway, let's get to the Haiti thing. So Haiti, so then the prime minister now was supposed to step down in February, but he announced to the country, I'm not about to step down until middle of 2025. And then all hell broke loose and Barbecue active. So pretty much all they say gangs, they all linked up with each other under the leadership of Barbecue. And they told the president, you either need to step down or it's going to be a civil war. And in this civil war, there's going to be genocidal activity going on. Pretty much we're going to start wiping people out by the thousands. That's what he didn't say those words, but he said it's going to be like genocide and it's going to be a civil war. And if the so-called gangs and the military or the government have the same type of artillery, that would be a civil war. That wouldn't be the police just coming in and rounding up all the criminals. That's not what happened. It'd be a real fight, and there'd be a lot of people dying on both sides. My whole thing is, and this is why I can't really speak about this, I honestly need somebody from Haiti or somebody that's like has people in Haiti that can explain this better, because the way I'm reading it in the American media, which I don't really have too much, I could read some of the British media or the French media, but it's all outside media, all white controlled media. I can't tell what's really happening because it's all media shaping it. Or is this group a gang, like a criminal street gang, the way we think about it in America? or is this like a revolutionary group who's been done dirty by the government, and they're trying to take over so that they can rebuild the country in a better way? Is that what's happening? Because they're not really giving a good indication. They keep calling them gangs, and maybe whatever word that they use in Haiti translate directly to gang. But it's seeming to me like these are more like militia groups or more like revolutionaries. That's what it seems more like to me. Because if their demand is either give us a presidential election or we're gonna kill people, it sounds like they're fighting for quote unquote democracy. So that wouldn't be a gang in the way that we think about gangs here. You know what I'm saying? So I just do think like it's a little bit, it's not weird that they're using that word. It's their word, the word that they want to use, but it sounds a little bit different than saying like a gang is taking over the country. Like these are revolutionaries taking over because they want a real president that they elected is what they're pretty much fighting for. And it's honestly crazy that their prime ministers have been standing in the way of just letting somebody be elected. Like the country doesn't have much power. So what type of power do they think they're holding on to by not setting up a democratic council to start getting these elections going and all that? Why do they need the United Nations and the United States to tell them, hey, y'all need to do this? It sounds to me like the UN and the United States agrees with barbecue. He's saying, yes, Ariel Henry, you need to step down and you need to give them an election. Pretty much is what I'm reading based on this whole thing. The outside world is saying you need to do it. You need to do what they're saying because what they're saying seems reasonable. Give them an election. Right? So right now we're at the point in this whole situation where they said like almost 1,200 people have been killed since January alone. Sick. And the president, the prime minister, is actually stuck outside of the country, which is probably fortunate for him because if he was inside the country, he would probably meet his demise soon after landing. But the reason he can't come in is because the militia groups or the revolutionaries destroyed the airports, the international airports. So there's no traffic coming in and out of Haiti right now in terms of air traffic. The Dominican Republic and all of their racist tendencies, and shout out to anybody in the chat who is Dominican, but we know what's going on down there. They have blocked off the borders. No refugees allowed. Can you imagine a civil war? Like, and I'm not saying that I'm just the biggest advocate for a bunch of refugees to just enter a country, but just imagine something like that going on right next to you, and you're not even gonna, you won't let, you don't have like a limit. You don't have like this is the max amount of people we can help. There's no amount of people that they want to help. They're like, nah, none of y'all could come over here. And we know from history that these are the same people. This group is the same. That's just Dominican Republic. These are like the lighter than the Haitian ones. And then these people are just the darker versions of all the same people. But they were able to establish two separate nations. So again, for me to accurately discuss this situation, I would need some help from somebody who's actually boots on ground, or not boots on ground because that's hectic, who's actually has family there, or somebody who knows more about it. If you are somebody who knows more about it from the inside, not from the media standpoint, but from somebody that's actually there, I would love if you would help me out by providing me with some type of information on this because it is a bit nutty.